Hello everybody, I'm Elaina Love and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to talk to you today about 10 ways to get back on track if you've gotten off track. And I gotta say, most people get off track, whether it's the holidays, whether it's a new romance, whether it's a vacation, a death in the family. There's so many things, a new job, there's so many things that can get us off track. Moving to a new area. So don't think that this is something that only happens to you. It happens to all of us. Look, I've been doing a healthy, plant-based lifestyle for 21 years. And in those 21 years, I've definitely fallen off track. Yeah, 80% of the time or more, I'm on track, but I get off track. And there's times when it's like, it takes me a while to get back on track. So that's why I created these 9 steps, 9 to 10 steps that you can do to get yourself back on track. And the first one is to turn your setback into a way to uplift yourself. Because what's the first thing we do when we get off track? Oh, I'm so bad and wrong. Oh, I didn't do it right. Oh, I gained weight. Oh, what's wrong with me? That is just more self-abuse, because let's face it, if you're overeating or you're not exercising or you've stopped meditating or you've stopped going to yoga classes or you've stopped doing anything that's a healthy habit, it's a form of self-abuse because you could be doing better. But then when the mind kicks in to also pile up on top of all that you're bad and wrong, it just makes it worse. So let's just all agree that we're not going to do self-abuse when we get off track. We're going to say, great, this is an awesome opportunity to make a reassessment and decide what's important in my life, okay? So let's start uplifting ourselves when we get off track and learn from our experiences, number 2. So when you get off track, how do you feel? If I eat gluten or sugar or I stop doing yoga, which happened to me recently, the yoga part, I feel bad. I feel low energy. I don't feel as toned or, just good about myself. In the past, when I would overeat on sugar or gluten, which I haven't done in years, but when I would do that, the same thing would happen. I would notice, oh, this is why I don't eat gluten. Oh, this is why I don't eat sugar, because I feel so horrible. I get a food hangover. Even for me, one thing that's happened to me in 2018, getting off track, is eating late at night. Now, this has been a habit that I've been having off and on for years, because what happens to me is I get busy, I don't really feel hungry during the day, and then I get all my calories happening between 7 and 10 p.m. And what I noticed this year is that I put on weight. I started feeling not so good about myself because even though I was eating healthy, I was just eating it at the wrong time of day. So if it's anything like that's happened to you, just learn from your experience, write down, how do I feel when I don't do it? And how do I feel when I do it? And so this is a way just to have a new experience, because sometimes we forget why we're doing what we're doing. And so not doing it, like meditation's a great example, like, oh, is meditation really working? And then you notice if you haven't done it for a week, you're like, oh, wow, I kind of snapped at that person, or I, honked it in the car. Whereas when you're doing your daily routine of meditation, you're like, wow, I'm just such a balanced person. So these are the things we need to find out by going off track. So sometimes it can be good to go off track. The third thing is create a vision board. So now that you know I want to be on track, let's create the vision around it. Now, as I record this video, it's the end of the year, but you can do this any time of year. But the end of the year is a great time to do a vision board because the new year's coming. So this is one I've had from last year. It's got women on a mission, a beautiful life. It's got on here, joy matters more than what anyone else thinks, which I love. When we decide to thrive, we play by a different set of rules. And then I've got nature pictures. I've got a beautiful home picture of that. And then on my second vision board, I have friends, hanging out with friends. I got a kayak this year, I did this in January of 2018, and I now have a kayak. I've been on a lot of these kind of hikes here in Oregon, and I've definitely had my community gatherings. So again, when you put it on your vision board, it's going to happen. For this year, I'm still working on it, but I've got a really fit-looking woman. I've got camping and going to like a retreat. I've got that I want to go to the Paleo FX festival this year. Meet a man. Passion and purpose. I'm going to keep filling it in. When it's all filled in, then I'll glue it onto a board. So that's kind of how I do it. So you don't have to have it all done at once. If you see a picture, put it on there, and then when you're ready, you can glue it onto just a little small board. It doesn't have to be anything huge, just something you could cut up a cardboard box. Okay, make it easy for yourself. Number 4, look at the big picture. So realize that being healthy requires a certain amount of discipline, but it doesn't matter what the exact time period is. So what that means is you don't have to lose weight this week. You don't have to eat perfectly this week. You don't have to get 5 yoga classes in if you haven't done any yoga in months. You don't have to meditate every day for 20 minutes if you haven't meditated. Start with 3 minutes of meditation 3 days a week. Put it in your calendar. You can do that. Start with 1 yoga class and then add another one on later in the week. So by doing that, you're not trying to make yourself fit in everything into this month, because the big picture shows you that if you do this consistently for a year, then in a year you're going to be where you want to be. And then you're going to get yourself back on track with just this healthy, balanced lifestyle. So things you can add into the big picture is I want to do 4 cleanses a year, whether that's a liver cleanse, a colon cleanse, a juice flush, whatever it is for you. Just decide what you want to do that's going to be part of your year program. And isn't that way easier to think of okay, I'm going to create my vision for a year. I'm going to create my program for a year. And then I can already have the goals in mind and I can just ease back into this. Same with eating. Instead of getting rid of sugar, gluten, chocolate, coffee, whatever else you want to get rid of, unhealthy foods, why not pick 1 or 2 things for this week? Maybe just sugar. Then when you feel really good about getting sugar out, then you pick another one. Let's get rid of gluten. So you're easing yourself back into getting on track versus having everything happen at once, because what happens with that is we just end up binging because we've gone off way too many things. We feel way deprived, which I'll talk about in a minute. The next thing is to renew your motivation. So going off track is a signal that your motivation has veered off, right? So just take a seat, sit down and take stock. When you were following your program, how did you feel? When you're on track, how did you feel? What was motivating you then? What was getting you to do those things you were doing? So recreating those feelings can help you get your incentive back. That's why I like the vision board, because you're a healthy looking body, having friends in my life, whatever it is for you. Learn about how does not doing your lifestyle enhancements, how does that make you feel? We've already talked a little bit about that. If you feel bad when you're not following your routine, when you do your routine, you get a dopamine hit, which means, yay, I'm doing good, I'm a good person, I feel good about myself. So that's just basically getting yourself renewed motivation. Think about all the things that you will feel when you lose those 20 pounds, or you do your yoga daily, or you're meditating. Think about the end results of how you're going to feel. Number 6 is to plan ahead. How many times have we gotten caught off track because we didn't plan ahead? So getting those energy bars and putting them in your car or your purse, getting a bag of soaked and dehydrated sprouted almonds or walnuts or sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds that you can season up by following one of our recipes on purejoyplanet.com. Season up some yummy snack mixes that aren't filled with dried raisins and fruit that are just going to make you gain weight. Make a healthy paleo or keto treat. We have all kinds of recipes in our Love Camp that we teach people how to make their own cookies and snacks, things like that. So, just have a healthy snack bag on hand. This is another one that I do, is keep your shoes, your exercise shoes, in the car, because this time of year, it's cold here in Oregon, and I wear Ugg boots. But if I want to suddenly go hike because I'm driving by a sign that says, oh, there's a hiking trail, I need to have shoes in the car and socks. So a yoga mat in the car, shoes and socks, and some healthy snacks in the console. Those are all things that I have. I have a 90% chocolate bar in there, because if I get a blood sugar drop, or I'm just out for longer than I thought, at least I've got something. Another thing is you can get a green drink. It's just green powder that I put in water. Throw that in water in the morning, running out the door, whether you drink it or not. It's in the car, you shake it up. It's got spirulina, it's got moringa, it's got vitamin mineral green, it's got a little stevia and water. I just shake that up, throw it in the car. That way, if I get hungry, I've got something to slug down, and I'm not going to be caught off guard and eating snacks that I shouldn't be eating. Okay, so number 7, this is really important, and this is why we do our Love Camp course, which is either a month long or a year long, and this is ongoing. So whenever you're watching this video, just go to purejoyplanet.com, click on courses, and you'll find our Love Camp training. And we just do this thing to keep you guys on track on a ketogenic plant-based diet. So don't deprive yourself. Cutting out all your favorite foods is a surefire way to trigger your feelings of deprivation, and that can lead to a binge, right? How many times have we I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that, and then you find yourself just binging on all of it because you just are feeling deprived. So instead, choose healthier options. Switch from gluten-containing bread to either our homemade keto bread, which is grain-free, or just a healthy gluten-free bread. What about flour, cookies? Sometimes people will go, oh, well, it's gluten-free, I'm eating gluten-free cookies. Well, the next leveling of that is that you can make our ketogenic cookies, or just make yourself a quick bliss ball at home, which has, nuts ground in a food processor with some coconut oil and some stevia and your favorite flavoring like vanilla or cinnamon or pumpkin pie spice, and you can just make your own little balls. We have lots of recipes for those on our website as well. And then you can also do a fat bomb, which there's tons of recipes for on the internet. We provide you in our course with lots of ketogenic plant fat bombs that you can just pop in your mouth whenever you're hungry. Okay, so you don't have to go deprived. Let's see, ice cream. I didn't talk about that yet. If you're an ice cream eater, why not buy some coconut milk, coconut cream, and blend that with frozen fruit if you really just get a hankering for ice cream. That's going to be a super awesome, quick and easy treat. If you've got a Vitamix blender, you throw a cup of coconut cream in and about half a cup to a cup of frozen berries. Blend that on high, maybe throw a little stevia in, and you've got a super yummy blueberry sorbet. So no need to go depriving yourself. Number 8, change your routine and add in exercise again. So once you start seeing the results from your new yoga class, or maybe you join a new gym, maybe something that includes cardio and weights, you're doing different things than you normally do. Like if you're a Bikram yoga person, which I was, switch it up and start doing vinyasa flow. I just joined a new gym here in Bend. It's actually our Parks and Rec have a great fitness program, and I did weights today with cardio, and then I've been doing their yoga classes, which are different, some pyo, some vinyasa flow, just trying different classes. So if you join a gym that has a lot of different options, then you can switch it up. Maybe do a Zumba class at 7 o'clock at night on a Friday instead of staying home watching Netflix and binging on your favorite snacks. See the difference there? Switch it up. Make different choices, and then they're going to get you excited. Your muscles are going to be sore, which makes you feel like you're doing something. You're going to start seeing results. Oh my gosh, my shoulders have definition. And then before you know it, you're hooked on these new classes. You're making new friends. So changing your routine is really important. If you're a runner, maybe start doing just hiking up steep hills and doing run walking up those, which gives you the same amount of cardio, but it's just a different way of doing it. Number 9, find an accountability buddy. So this is someone who you can get to keep you on track. Maybe someone in our Love Camp group. We have a Facebook group that's a private group. We have over 200 members on that, and you can find a buddy on there once you join that will, you can just say, hey, does anybody want to be my accountability buddy? You check in every Monday because the weekends are the hardest part. So for me, I have an accountability counselor right now, and I've committed to not eating after 7 p.m. And I have been doing amazing because I know I have to let her know on Monday whether or not I stayed on track. You can do this with different people, but it's really good to have someone that's impartial. It could be a family member, like a husband or a kid, because they're in your house with you all the time. But just be honest. And you could also have them tell them that you're going to pay them $20 a week if you don't stay on track, or that you'll take them to a movie or something that where you actually have to pay. So this is all ways to motivate yourself to stay on track. So the accountability partner is really helpful. And number 10 is be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. That's going to keep you on track, because a lot of times what happens when we're sabotaging ourselves is we've got this negative self-talk going, and we're just forgetting how important it is to be loving and kind to that little boy or little girl. And you need to name it. You need to, if you're a man, you need to say, my little boy needs love. If you're a woman, you need to say, my little girl needs love. It's different than saying my inner child. You need to name the child, who she is. You know, for me, it would be little Elaina at 3 years old needs love right now because she feels traumatized about something that happened. And so just hugging metaphorically, energetically, your inner child, just picking her up and holding her and telling her everything's going to be okay. I love you. We're going to do this together. And just be kind. Be kind to your friends. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. And when you do that, your life just gets better and you decide you want to be on track. So I hope this helped today, and look forward to more of my videos on ketogenic programs, on just different other fitness things, things you can do to stay healthy and alive, how to take medicinal mushrooms. I've got lots of different videos out there and that are coming up. So I look forward to creating the next video for you guys. Have a great day.